Intermittent fasting has gained remarkable attention in recent years, both in scientific circles and among those seeking to improve their health, vitality, and lifespan. But is there truly a connection between intermittent fasting and longevity? To answer this question, we need to look deeply at what intermittent fasting is, how it works in the body, and what modern research reveals about its impact on aging and overall well-being. At its core, intermittent fasting is not a diet in the traditional sense, but rather a pattern of eating. It cycles between periods of eating and periods of fasting. Unlike many diets that specify what foods to eat, intermittent fasting focuses on when you eat. There are several popular approaches. The 16-8 method, where one fasts for 16 hours and eats during an 8-hour window. The 5.2 method, where calorie intake is significantly reduced on 2 days of the week. And alternate day fasting, which involves fasting every other day. Each of these approaches shares a similar goal: to allow the body to spend substantial time in a fasted state. When we fast, the body undergoes a series of profound changes at the cellular and molecular levels. In the absence of incoming calories, insulin levels drop, allowing fat stores to be accessed for energy. Growth hormone levels can surge, assisting in fat loss and muscle gain. Cells initiate important repair processes, such as autophagy, a mechanism by which cells remove old or damaged components, essentially cleaning house. These changes have caught the attention of researchers who see potential links to improved health span and lifespan. The idea that fasting can promote longevity is not new. In fact, for much of human history, periods of feast and famine were a natural part of life. Our bodies evolved to handle times without food, and in some ways, these periods of scarcity may have programmed our biology for resilience. In laboratory studies, animals subjected to calorie restriction or intermittent fasting frequently live longer and show fewer signs of age-related diseases. Mice, for example, often experience a significant extension of lifespan when their calories are restricted or when they follow intermittent fasting regimens. But what about humans? Scientific research in people is still catching up, but the early findings are promising. Intermittent fasting has been shown to improve markers associated with aging and chronic disease. These include reductions in blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar, and inflammation. By reducing the risk factors for heart disease, diabetes, and even certain cancers, intermittent fasting may help extend the number of healthy years, a concept known as health span. One of the most intriguing mechanisms by which intermittent fasting may influence longevity is through cellular stress resistance. When the body is in a fasted state, cells face mild stress, not unlike the effect of exercise on muscles. This stress triggers adaptive responses that make cells more resilient to future challenges, improving their ability to repair DNA, recycle damaged proteins, and manage energy more efficiently. Essentially, fasting primes our cells for survival. Autophagy, mentioned earlier, is central to this process. As we age, the efficiency of autophagy declines, contributing to the buildup of damaged cellular components that can lead to age-related diseases such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Fasting-induced autophagy can help counteract this decline, potentially reducing the risk or severity of these conditions. While much of the research is still based on animal models, the underlying biology is compelling. Intermittent fasting also appears to positively affect metabolism, which plays a crucial role in aging. Over time, our metabolism tends to slow, and we become more susceptible to metabolic diseases. By giving the digestive system regular breaks, intermittent fasting can help regulate hormones involved in hunger, satiety, and fat storage. For example, improved insulin sensitivity helps the body maintain stable blood sugar levels, reducing the risk of type 2 diabetes, a major risk factor for many age-related illnesses. Another fascinating aspect of intermittent fasting is its potential to influence gene expression. Studies have shown that periods of fasting can switch on genes associated with longevity and disease resistance. These genes help regulate inflammation, oxidative stress, and repair mechanisms, all of which are linked to the aging process. By activating these genetic pathways, intermittent fasting may contribute to a longer, healthier life. Of course, the benefits of intermittent fasting are not solely limited to physical health. There is emerging evidence that fasting can improve cognitive function and protect the brain from age-related decline. Some studies suggest that intermittent fasting boosts the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a protein that supports the growth and survival of neurons. This could explain why many people who practice intermittent fasting report increased mental clarity, focus, and even mood stability. It is also worth noting that intermittent fasting is not a one-size-fits-all approach. Individual responses can vary based on genetics, lifestyle, and underlying health conditions. Some people find it easy to adapt to fasting, experiencing increased energy and reduced appetite. Others may struggle with hunger, irritability, or fatigue, especially when first starting out. The key is to listen to your body and consult with a healthcare professional before making significant changes to your eating patterns. Especially if you have chronic health issues, take medication, or are pregnant or breastfeeding. Sustainability is another important factor. For intermittent fasting to offer long-term benefits, it needs to be a pattern that fits into your lifestyle. Many proponents find that fasting simplifies their routines. Fewer meals mean less time spent planning, cooking, and eating. For others, social and cultural factors may make fasting more challenging. Ultimately, the best approach is one that you can maintain consistently and that supports your overall well-being. While intermittent fasting shows great promise as a tool for promoting longevity, it is important to recognize that it is just one piece of the puzzle. Other lifestyle factors, regular physical activity, a nutrient-rich diet, stress management, and social connection are also critical for extending health span and lifespan. Intermittent fasting can complement these practices, but it is not a magic bullet. The future of research in this area is exciting. Scientists are working to better understand the optimal fasting patterns, the long-term effects in diverse populations, and the specific biological mechanisms at play. Personalized approaches to fasting, informed by genetics and individual health profiles, may soon become a reality. In summary, intermittent fasting is more than a trend. It represents a return to our evolutionary roots and taps into powerful biological processes that support health and longevity. By restricting the window of eating, we can activate cellular repair, improve metabolic health, and potentially reduce the risk of age-related diseases. While more research is needed to fully understand its impact on human lifespan, the evidence so far suggests that intermittent fasting can be a valuable strategy for those seeking a longer, healthier, and more vibrant life. If you are considering intermittent fasting as a way to support your own health and longevity, start slowly and pay attention to how your body responds. Remember that the journey toward a longer life is built not just on what you eat or when you eat, but on the daily choices you make to move, connect, and care for yourself. By integrating intermittent fasting with other healthy habits, you can take meaningful steps toward a future filled with vitality and well-being. As we continue to unravel the mysteries of aging, one thing becomes clear. Our bodies are remarkably adaptable, and through thoughtful lifestyle choices, we have the power to influence how we age. Intermittent fasting offers a compelling avenue for harnessing this potential, providing hope and inspiration for all those seeking to add not just years to their life, but life to their years.